Welcome everyone to our special edition of Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie. Tonight we're devoting the entire 2 hours to the drug epidemic here in Long Beach and throughout Long Island and really throughout the country. And we have a lot of people in recovery going to come up and speak and talk from their hearts about what they've gone through in recovery. And I have a great panel tonight. Right to my right, longtime friend. She runs Long Beach Aware. Let's have a round of applause for Judy Vining. And from an organization called SLATE, Saving Lives from Addiction through
Treatment and Education.
Let's have a round of applause for Eric. And it's going to be a very informative show, and I feel when people talk about and share what they've gone through, not only helping themselves, but they're helping others. But Judy, talk about your experiences from Long Beach Aware, how your organization tackles the drug epidemic and some of the things you feel are vitally important.
We'll give you a little history first. Our organization started out at Long Beach Medical Center out of the outpatient treatment facility called FACS, which is no longer in existence because Long Beach Medical Center isn't. So I started my career, if you will, as a therapist in a substance abuse agency. And then as an agency, we started to get involved in prevention. We morphed into being Long Beach Aware because we had to. We had no home. And so we formed a 501c3 and we became state funded as a prevention provider in the city of Long Beach. So it's a continuum. It's prevention, it's treatment, it's recovery. None of those exist without the other. And they exist as part and parcel of each other, and it goes back and forth. And so we look at, as Long Beach Aware, we look at prevention not as much on an individual basis, although that does work, talking about raising kids' self-esteem, talking about helping them develop refusal skills and good, solid sense of self. But we also look at communities, and we look at our community in particular, and we look at how the policies and the laws and the cultures of that community help either support or encourage overuse, binge drinking. I mean, nobody starts with a needle in their arm. It starts way before then. And so our aim as an agency is to intervene at the earliest possible moments that we can, and both on an individual basis, but also on a community basis. When we look at laws, we look at policies within, big policies and little policies. We look at policies within the institutions, and we look at policies within things like the school district, where they instituted a passive breathalyzer policy in 2007. Was it to catch kids? No, absolutely not. The hope was it was a deterrent. If you knew that there was a breathalyzer at the post-prom party, perhaps you weren't showing up with alcohol in your breath. So most of the policies we look at, most of the things we look at to put in place are deterrents that will help a family, that will help a parent say, I'd love to have you have that party, but I don't want to be on the front page of the Herald, so we're just not going to do it. Coupled with education for the community about what they're dealing with, how to deal with it, and how they can participate. And there are simple things. You want to talk about prescription drug abuse? Well, 70% of kids 12 and above who've used in the past year got it on the Friends and Family Plan. So Grandma or Aunt Susie needs to lock up their medicine cabinet. You locked up the cleaning supplies when your kids were 2 because you knew they were tempting and dangerous, both. Well, now your kid is 15 or 16 or 18, or they have friends. And so lock up the prescription drugs, lock up the alcohol, and let them know you're doing it. That it's not about trust, it's about not putting temptation in anyone's path. That's really the issue. It's not about trying to catch them. It's about telling them you're doing this because it's my job as your parent, as your grandmother, as your friend, to take care of you even when you can't take care of yourself. So that's the way we work, and that's what we look at in a nutshell, a little bit.
Okay.